Hey y'all, welcome to my little slice of YouTube where we will discuss books and take the concepts within these books and relate them to everyday life. I appreciate y'all being here and sharing in this journey with me. Thanks. Hey now, welcome and/or welcome back to the Pretty Nerd. I'm Elise. I don't want y'all to be upset with me. I know it's been a minute. I know I sat down with y'all and said, hey, it's been a long time since I sat down with y'all. I got some reviews coming, but it's been about 5 months since I sat down and really gave y'all a review. I apologize. Life has been lifing. I feel like I say that every video, but every video life has been lifing. In the meantime, since I sat before you last with a real review, I have read 3 or 4 books. I just couldn't muster up the ability, the strength, the wherewithal, if you will, to sit before you and review them. They were great books. It was a different genre than I have read in quite a while. But I have vowed to not do that anymore. Every book that I read, whether I like it, whether I love it, whether I hate it, I am going to make the conscious decision to sit before you with a review and a recommendation as to whether or not it is worthy of your reading and your purchasing or your renting, if you are renting it from the library, because y'all know how I love the library. I stand for the library. But I apologize that I've been away from you guys for such a long time. Please tell me in the comments, how are you? How's life been going? What have you read recently? If you have been active on YouTube and maybe you've seen a couple of my shorts, I have still been getting books. I have some new books. I've done some new book hauls, so some reviews are coming out. Will be coming out because I am going to up the ante, if you will. Elise is about to challenge herself to read and review more because I've been slipping on my pimping, if you will. Okay? But I am here before you today to talk about finding the balance in an unbalanced world. Oola, find balance in an unbalanced world, specifically for women. So if you want to hear a story, here you go. So like I said, I got this book at Hobby Lobby. It retails for $16.95. I purchased it for approximately $7-8, $6 or $7. It is in the self-help, health, wellness genre. I started this book on September 15th of this year. I finished it on October 27th of this year. It has 340 pages. Okay, so what do I be telling y'all when I be reviewing? See, this is why you got to stay in the swing of things. Because now I'm up here looking like I don't know what I'm doing. So, be patient. Extend me some grace. It's been a minute. I'm going to get back on the bike. I'm finding it, like the TikTok say. I got this book from Hobby Lobby a while ago. It's been in my TBR pile for quite a minute. I think I paid like $7-8 for this book, not a whole bunch. But the book is all about finding balance within the 7 key areas of your life, right? If you don't know what those areas are, I got my notes, okay? While some things change, some things remain the same. I'm a note-taking girly, so I got y'all. The 7 F's, or the 7 key factors to finding a balanced life, are fitness, finances, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. So, if you didn't know, now you know. Those are the 7 key areas of living a healthy, happy, balanced life. Is y'all healthy, happy, and balanced? Do y'all have all 7 of these areas mastered and down pat? Do you have it? If not, according to this book and my review, I'm going to tell you how to get it. Y'all see how I'm just showing y'all all my little merch? It's coming soon. I got me a little tumbler. I got me a little reading planner. If you want one, let me know. I got a little writing notebook if you like to take notes because you're a note girly like me. But that's enough about that. Let's get back to the book. So, like I said, I took notes. I just explained to y'all the 7 F's, or the 7 key areas of balancing your life and getting your life together, so you can be happy, healthy, fulfilled, and all the things. So we're going to kind of break those down, right, into each one. So what I'm saying is, like, we're going to talk about fitness and how that's going to benefit you, and we're going to do all of that, and then we're going to get into a little bit more what the book talks about. And then I'm going to tell y'all what I think about it overall, and if y'all should spend the coin or use the library card or swipe the card or whatever and read the book. So let's get into it. The first one is fitness, and I think that that's just kind of self-explanatory. There's physical fitness and there's mental fitness. I guess the thought process is the more physically fit you are, the more mental fitness you have. Like, you are more able to spend your time and your efforts wisely, right? Your mind and your body will align, and so if it doesn't like suit you, like, if it don't apply, let it fly, kind of thing. So physical fitness and mental fitness are both very important to your life, and if you're not practicing those things, get in the gym. You don't even have to get in the gym. Get downstairs in your basement or walk around your neighborhood. There's a million videos on YouTube for fitness inside the gym, outside the gym, inside your home, outside your home. Mental fitness can look like picking up a book. That's why you're here, right? Because you like books, or you want to learn to like books and read books and expand that part of your life. Pick up a book, or Sudoku, ain't that what it's called? Like the little number thing, the word puzzles, whatever. Anything that expands your ability to think, that challenges you on a certain kind of level, or opens up your mind in certain kind of ways. We know that reading does that. That's why I advocate for reading. But if reading isn't your thing, there are many other ways to get mentally fit, and that was one of the aspects denoted in the book. The second aspect is finances, right? In order to be happy, healthy, and like living this abundant and great life, you need to have your finances in order. And I think we have all gone through a point where our finances haven't been in order. And in this instance, the book talks about how to get your finances in order. They recommend like paying down debt. We all know that that's necessary. As a shopping girly, just struggle, be real. But I have managed to pay down my debt quite a bit. You got to be hyper focused on paying down your debt. Invest, create an emergency fund. Emergency funds are so important, especially if you're a single parent like I am. Even if you're not a single parent, or it's two people living in the same household, building an emergency fund is necessary, because rainy days happen. And you don't want to be outside wet because of a rainy day and you weren't prepared for it. So build an emergency fund. The book recommends 7 months. I say start with a month and then build upon that. You know what I mean? Small steps lead to big wins. So start with building an emergency fund for just a month. See what your expenditure is for that month, and then work on building an emergency fund for that amount, and then double that amount, triple that amount, etc., until you have enough money in your savings, in your emergency fund, to carry you for a year if necessary, because we never know if we're going to be in a panini, aka a pandemic, again. And if you are, you don't want to be without the resources and the funds to take care of yourself and your family. So pay down that debt, invest, build you an emergency fund, do all the things, get your finances in order. It'll lead to a happy, healthy, abundant life. Okay, so number 3 is family. We all understand why family is important and why it should be treated as a priority, but the book breaks it down into 3 different variables, or 3 different categories of what your family looks like. And the first one is your inner circle, and that is the family you spend the most time with. So that's your immediate family, your spouse, your children. For most times, those are the people you spend the absolute most of your time with. The second tier of family would be your in-laws and outliers, and that's family that isn't a part of your daily life. So for me, that looks like my sister and my brother-in-law and my niece and my nephew. They are very important people to me. However, I don't spend my daily life with them. In my outer circle is family that you only see or communicate with via social media. So like yesterday, unfortunately, I attended a funeral for my great uncle, and a lot of those family members I've seen, while I love them dearly, I only really see them in situations like that, or family reunions, and or I view their lives through social media, through my Facebook, my Instagram, my TikTok. Shout out to y'all though. I love y'all immensely. And I know yesterday was hard for us, but better days is coming. So you got to categorize your family into those 3 tiers according to the book, so that way you can prioritize the amount of time and energy that you give to them, and also the amount of time and energy that you consume from them, because we're always consuming things, right? Whether it's energy or information or the two, we're always in consumption. So you want to make sure that what you are consuming, you are actually giving to the necessary people in the necessary way, like based on prioritization, if that makes sense. The next F that is detailed in the book is field. Career. It's also broken down into like 2 different tiers. There's career / calling / purpose, and then there's your day job versus your dream job. In my opinion, you can kind of, those all fall into the career, calling, or purpose. So I like to think that I have all of those, right? I have a personal career, like I call my 9 to 5 or my 4 to 2, because it's a 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift. So I have my 4 to 2, but then there's my calling. I feel like getting people to read and expressing my love for reading in an attempt to have more people, especially more little girls that look like me, understand how important reading is. Well, not only is it important, but it's fun. Not only is it important and fun, but it is transformative. It will change your life. It'll open up your thought processes. It'll open up your world to different ways of being and understanding. So I feel like this is my calling. I consider me cultivating and curating content and putting it on social media as my passion work. I feel deeply within my shanana, like my good girl Erica says, that this is what the Lord wants me to do. Right? He wants me to sit before people, and not even before y'all. I mean, in certain instances, I would love to sit with y'all and discuss books and discuss the gravity of books and how transformative the power of words and reading is. I feel like that's what I'm here to do. I hope that when you see me before you on YouTube, on your phone or your TV, that you glean a little bit from me, that you feel a little bit more inspired to read, or you just understand that life is life, and you might not be able to read as much as you want to, but even if you read a little bit, that's more than you were reading the day before. Or even if you are just trying to read more than you were the day before, that there's value in that too. Like, so I feel like that's why I'm here, what I've been called to do. And I hope that after you sit here and you've listened to this book review, that you can determine and try to figure out if you are working your dream job or if this is just your day job. And let your day job fund your dream. Let your day job fund your dream. I just was talking about how I work at 4 to 2, but Erica, my good friend that I was just telling you about, she uses her 4 to 2, because we work together, to fund her dream job. She does nails on the side. She does hair on the side. Use it to get to where you want to be. Please don't mind Kane over here playing with his toy. If you hear some clicking in the background, my daughter Aston is working on some homework. Like, life is life. So, but the content has to come out. So You just got to get the little background noises and know that I'm a real person doing real things, but I'm here for y'all too. So align yourself with the dream. And if that means using your day job to fund your dream job, do that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that that's the smartest way to go about it. The next point in the book was faith. And in the book, it details, or what I took from the book is this excerpt that says, don't wait. Find the path that resonates in your life. I am a Christian. I resonate as a Christian. I speak to you as a Christian. I'm not a perfect Christian, so please let me put that out there. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a Christian. I love and serve the Lord Jesus Christ, right? And I'm not telling you what faith to be, but as the book says, search and do your research on religion and find what speaks to you and pursue that wholeheartedly. Let that be a guiding force in your life. Let it be what you fall back on when times get hard, when you don't know what else to do, when you don't know which way to turn. Use your faith as a steering wheel for what you are doing with your life and how you are mirroring your life and or presenting your life to others, right? As a Christian, when people see me, they're supposed to see Christ. It doesn't happen all the time. It is a goal of mine, but I try to use that as a way for how I present myself to others. And the book denotes on how you should be using your life and your religion within your life as a walking, living, breathing testament of your faith. And y'all understand why that's necessary. Lastly, in the faith category, it talks about serving others. If you don't know why serving others is important, baby, you need another kind of book, right? But serving others, I believe that we are all just vessels, right? Empty vessels being poured into so that we can pour into someone, so that they can pour into someone else. So God pours into you so that you can pour into someone else, so that they can take what you've given them and pour into somebody else. You are never supposed to be completely full in that way, because you are always supposed to be pouring into someone else. Pouring into someone else what God has poured into you, right? And not necessarily like depleting yourself of all your resources, but like you can pour into someone with love and encouraging words and of selflessness and things like that. So like let your life be in servitude of others. So when you find this faith, right, whatever that is, serve others with it in kindness, in love, in compassion. It might be in finances, it might be in time, it might be in a multitude of things, but a person who continuously pours into other people is always poured into as well, right? So the more you pour into others, the more you are poured into, whether that is in somebody physically pouring into you or God pouring back into you through blessings and or abundance in ways that aren't tangible or aren't financial or whatever, because blessings don't only come in the form of finances. You know what I mean? So the more that you pour into somebody else, the more that you are poured into. So the more that you serve, the more that you serve others, the more you are served. So it is a reciprocal kind of relationship between you and God, while you are also doing God's work and benefiting and transforming the lives of others and being a model of what it means to be about your Father's business. We are going on to point 6, which are friends. Again, that is broken down into like 3 tiers, and there are your inner circle, which is 3 to 5 of your closest friends. Y'all know who those people are. Those are the people you can call at 2 a.m. and say, hey, I need you to meet me here because we about to do this thing, the thing that you don't really want to talk about because it might be a little less polished than you like to come off. You know, those people, them your people. Your crew are typically your co-workers, your neighbors. The people you hang out with, they are based on mutual interest and or forced interaction. I have had plenty of coworkers that have become friends of mine, people that are now a part of my inner circle that I can call at 2 a.m. and be like, hey, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then there are your acquaintances, your social media connections, your old high school friends, people that you don't really talk to or that you only talk to via social media. By placing these people into these tiers, the same way with your family, you can prioritize how much energy you have to give to them. Your inner circle is probably going to get about as much energy as the people you see on a daily basis. Your inner circle of family, okay? Because they're described in the same way in the book. Your inner circle of family and your inner circle of friends are probably going to get the same amount of energy because you spend a lot of your time with them, right? You spend a lot of your time talking to them and cultivating those relationships, and they pour into you like you pour into them. So those kind of those 2 tier or 3 tiers are almost simultaneous in your friendship space as well as your relationship space as far as family goes. And number 7 is fun, right? You need to discover what fun looks like for you. Don't let fun be a distraction, and detach completely. Fun, you know, when you was in your 20s might have been going to the club, right? Fun for me now looks like maybe a lounge where jazz music is being played and they're gonna serve a good drink and a good plate of food because maybe I like to eat. Okay. So and what it means by don't let fun be a distraction is don't let the fun keep you from doing what you need to do, right? Fun today for me would have looked like sitting in the bed, grieving a little bit, not doing this review for you. But because I don't want to be distracted from the purpose work, from the calling, from what it is I'm supposed to do, here I am sitting in front of you doing this review. Don't let fun cost you the very thing that you want to do, right? And detach completely. It was a little bit vague, but what I get from that, or what I gather from that, is that if you are once you have done the things that you are supposed to do, once you have handled your responsibilities, and now you are having fun, let's say you out for a girls' night with your girls, leave home at home and have a good time. Like, if you're married, that don't mean like cheat on your spouse or talk to nobody else or do all those kind of things, but like have a good time. Be fully present in this moment. Accept and take in this moment for what it is and have a ball. Be present. Because you don't know how many more of these times you're going to get, you know, because you're going to have to go home and you're going to have to get back to life and being a mom and a wife or a sister, a cousin or whatever for whoever. And next we're going to talk about Oola blockers and Oola accelerators. And I just want to stop all of the review for a second to say that I think Oola is stupid, okay, the name. By definition, Oola is derived from the expression oola la, a state of awesomeness, a life that is balanced and growing in the key areas of health, finances, career, relationships, and well-being. Destination, as in getting to Oola. Describing actions, insights, and goals that lead to a balanced life. The ultimate plan for achieving balance in an unbalanced world. But I think that you can say that without saying it's Oola, right? Because like, who out here like, I'm trying to live a Oola life? Nobody. Instead, we like, I'm trying to live a balanced life. So I just think that's why you haven't heard me say Oola a lot, because I think it sounds stupid. I'm sorry to the people that wrote this book, but I do. But I'm all about having a balanced life. As I said, we're going to get into the Oola blockers. Now look at me saying Oola. Excuse me. We're going to get into the blockers. of achieving a happy, healthy, balanced life through those 7 key areas of life. The first one is fear. I believe that that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, fear will stop you from doing a whole bunch of things. Fear will stop you from doing what you know you are called to do. So don't let fear be a blocker for you. Guilt is the second one. In the book, it kind of details how you'll let a situation that you've handled poorly, like you'll let that guilt riddle you and keep you from being able to move forward. And it explicitly goes into how important it is to forgive yourself or to forgive others who have harmed you or made you feel away or beat you down or whatever it is that they have done to you. Forgive those people, because in forgiveness, we all know that forgiveness isn't for the person you're forgiving, but it's for you, right? In forgiveness, you're able to move on. You are able to hopefully glean something from that situation and be better because of it, right? The next one is anger. We all know how debilitating anger can be. When you are angry, you are not thinking properly, you are not in the right headspace, you're not reacting properly, you are not doing any of the things that allow you or align you with who you are or who you want to be, right? So in order to overcome that block of anger, you need to learn what those triggers are. Learn what they are, assess what they are, take mental note of what they are, put it in your phone if you need to. And when you encounter those triggers, be aware that, hey, this is a trigger for me and I need to find a way to not operate in this anger because I know that it's a trigger. So here I am with it. Now, how do I, because I've acknowledged that this is a trigger for me, how do I say or respond differently than I normally do with anger, right? Somebody said something crazy to you and now that's the trigger. Instead of responding back in an anger filled, nasty spewing of telling somebody about themselves, reading them for filth, honey, you say, I've acknowledged that this is a trigger for me, and because I want to align myself with who I want to be or who I am planning on being or who I am when I'm not this angry person, I'm just going to shut this conversation down until we can talk without the trigger, right? So then you grow from what has blocked you into something that can transform you. Is self-sabotage. You need to identify the source, boost your self-worth, don't settle. The only thing that settles around here is dust, baby. Let me say it again. The only thing that settles around here is dust. Dust settles, you don't. Okay. Once you identify the source of your self-sabotage, is it because you think you're not worthy? Is it because you think you're not good enough? Those are all ideas of fear, right? We say those things to ourselves, and I'm a firm believer that once you learn how to self-talk positively or enforce positive self-talk into your life, you don't self-sabotage, you don't settle, you don't nothing, right? Because you are so assured in who you are that what other people think about you ain't your business. It's not your concern. You do not care. And it holds no weight. So therefore, you are behaving and embody the person that you believe you are. And then you behave like it. People see that, they feel that, they resonate with that. But that only happens when you realize who you are, you realize that you are worthy, and you don't settle. The next blocker is laziness. Now I'm all here for a good lazy day. But you can't let it become a lazy life, right? So that the book says in order to not be lazy, you need to read your goals daily. Break down your goals into smaller steps, because remember I said small steps lead to big wins. And do the worst first. That is the part I love the most, right? I have been working out probably the most that I have ever worked out in my life. And the body is starting the body, y'all. But that's not why we here. We not here for that. We here for do the worst first. And so I have, because I do not enjoy working out, on the days that I am going to work out, that is the first thing I do. Because once I'm down there in the basement, because I don't like to go to the gym, and I got the music going and I'm in the middle of the workout, I feel good. I feel accomplished, especially when the workout is over. I'm like, go ahead, girl. You doing that. Look at you looking how you looking, right? Then you can hype yourself up, right? After you do the worst thing, right? It builds up momentum and discipline and consistency and continuing to do the hard thing. Continuing to do the thing that you don't like to do. And either you made by the fire or you burn up in it. And that's what I kind of correlate doing the worst thing to. It's like, because working out for me is the worst, because it's a fine tuning, it's a refining, it's the fire, right, being put to things that fire is molded by. Okay. And if I want to be molded and changed in the ways that I want to be, I got to do the hard thing. I got to show up for the hard thing, even though I don't like it, even though it don't feel good, even though it don't look pretty, even though it's not aesthetically pleasing. You got to do the hard thing. So do the hard thing first, right? Because then you condition your mind to be able to do it. And condition your mind to be able to do it consistently. Because discipline looks like doing what you don't want to do, even when motivation isn't enough to make you do it. The last blocker is envy. And it talks about comparison. We all understand that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing. My cousin used to tell me when I was trying to work out and trying to make this a lifestyle, like, stop comparing your chapter 2 to their chapter 40. She looked that way because she's been in the gym for 4 years now. She's been doing the hard thing for the longest time. She's been doing it for 4 years. You've only been here a month. And you can't compare her progress to your progress because y'all on 2 different chapters of y'all fitness journey. So stop comparing your chapter 2 to their chapter 40, because it's not going to look the same. It's not going to look alike. And if you keep doing that, you're going to keep finding reasons why you less than. You're going to keep finding reasons to be unmotivated. You're going to keep finding reasons why you feel unworthy or unloved or whatever, because you are comparing yourself by somebody else's standard or what somebody else has accomplished. And what's for you is going to find its way to you. You just need to focus, hyper focus on you. Instead of comparing yourself to them, get inspired by them. Look at that girl that's in the gym on year 4 and be like, I want to look like that, so I'm going to keep going hard like this. Or she has shown me that this is possible. So that's why I continue to do what I'm doing, because I now know that there is a possibility of it happening because I have seen somebody else do it, right? And then the last thing in combating envy is to collaborate. Work with them, because you can oftentimes learn something from somebody who is like-minded, and even from those who aren't like-minded, and it'll change your perspective from comparing them and being jealous of them into understanding that it's possible for you too, and that they are human, and all of those kind of things. Now we are going to get into the accelerators, the things that will propel you into those 7 areas of your life. So I guess Kane has decided to join the video. So we're going to keep going, because all things in the name of content. Okay, and now he's gone. So maybe not. So the next aspect was the accelerators. And the first accelerator mentioned in the book was gratitude. And it tells you to practice gratitude daily. And the way I like to do this is I have a journal, right? I'm a diary kind of girl, journal kind of girl, whatever. I like to purge the day so that I can start the new day fresh. Like, I don't want yesterday's or today's worries to weigh down the next day. So I have a journal. I get in my journal every night. And what I do is, before I start complaining, I journal and I say, Lord, I want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? I want to thank him for all of the good things that happened to me. And maybe the only good thing that has happened to me that day is a good brew of coffee, a good hot cup of black coffee, because I'm a black coffee girly. I just started that. You know you grown for real when you drink black coffee, but okay, whatever. But if that's all that happened to me today, I journal that, right? And then tomorrow I look forward to the next cup of coffee, the next hot cup of black coffee. And then oftentimes the more gratitude you find, or that you find yourself saying thank you for, the more things you have to be thankful for. So now I said thank you for that good cup of coffee. The next day I get a good cup of coffee and somebody gives me a compliment. Lord, thank you for the compliment. So then I go down in my journal and I write that the next day. Then the next day I thank you for the good cup of coffee. Thank you for the compliment. And then somebody, right, gives me a small token of their appreciation. Maybe somebody buys me some Starbucks or whatever. So now it's thank you for the cup of coffee I brewed myself. Thank you for the compliment, right? And now thank you for the small token of appreciation that was the Starbucks. The more you are grateful for, the more you get to be grateful for. So the more you practice gratitude, the more gratitude is then brought into, the more things you have, the more things, oh golly, the more things that are brought into your life for you to be grateful for. I'm not editing that out, so y'all get it, so y'all know that it's real. And then the book talks about how you don't get what you want, you get what you expect. And I believe that that's all because all things happen on a frequency, right? So if you are operating in the frequency of lack, and it's always, dang, nothing ever good happens to me. Dang, I got caught in that traffic today and I'm late to work. But we ain't gonna go there. I'm late to work. I got rained on once I got out the car, right? So now you're in the expectation for more bad things to happen for you the rest of the day. So what's gonna happen? More bad things are going to happen to you, right? You get what you think about. So align yourself with positive thoughts. So I got to work 5 minutes late, but my boss said it's okay. He understands that there was a accident on the road, so I don't get an attendance mark or event or whatever for that day. Something to be grateful for, right? We're gonna write that down in our journal. Then I get the compliment. Then my coffee was great. Then you see how the great things, the things to be grateful for just get added to, the list becomes longer and longer. So change the way you think about what's happening to you, because a lot of things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. And when you get to acting like things are happening for you, because all things work together for your good, right? You operate in a season of gratitude all the time. So all the time, great things are happening to you. All the time, things are happening to you that you should be grateful for, that you get to say thank you for. So always practice that daily. Operate in a spirit of gratitude, and I promise you, what you expect, as long as it's good, even if it ain't, if you're always operating in a spirit of gratitude and thankfulness, you'll have more things to be thankful and grateful for. The second accelerator is love, right? Love yourself, love others. I don't really know about the unconditionally thing, and love well. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. No, but first things first, love you, right? Because you are the blueprint. And if you don't love you wholeheartedly, you can't teach others how to love you. And so therefore, you settle. And What settles around here? Say it with me. Dust. Okay, not you. So the only thing that settles around here is what? Dust. Okay, not you. So, but that only happens when you love you, right? And in loving you, you can teach other people how to love you the way you deserve to be loved. Okay. So it says others unconditionally. I'm a love you with condition kind of person, right? Because condition are boundaries, and boundaries are a form of self-love. Did y'all hear me? Conditions are a form of boundaries, and boundaries represent self-love. Because if you don't have a boundary for how somebody treats you or how somebody loves you, people will give you whatever version of love and treatment they feel like you deserve. And because you don't love you enough, you're going to take it. You in a relationship with a man, he hit you in the face and he tell you that's love. Because you don't have a boundary, because you haven't set a boundary for the fact that you will not be hit in a relationship. When he tells you he do it because he loves you, you like, ooh, I'm being loved. And that ain't it. Baby, grow you some boundaries and grow you some conditions and have people love you within those, because the people who really love you will stay within your boundaries, will stay within your conditions, because that's what love looks like. Love looks like people loving you enough that they respect the boundary that you set for them and you set for yourself, the standards you set for yourself, and they love you enough to stay within the confines of what you have set. The only people who feel like they should step over those are the people who don't love you. Love people with condition. I don't know what this book talking about. The only people you're going to love without condition for real is probably your parents and most certainly your children. Outside of that, everybody has a condition for how they treat you and the standard in which you want to be loved. Have people treat you with love that you have set a clear standard and a clear condition for. And if they cannot do that, to the left, like Beyonce said. Okay? Lastly, love well. With those conditions, with loving yourself, love wholeheartedly. Like when you love a person, love them deeply, love them intently, love them on purpose, love them out loud, love them lavishly, like whatever that means for you. Like do that, love well, but start with you, and then whatever's left, give to everybody else. The third thing is discipline. We kind of talked about that when we talked about do the worst thing first. In order to get to discipline, right? In order to get to being a disciplined person, start. You ain't got to be perfect to start. There was a girl on social media, an old high school friend of mine who does hair for a living, and she talked about how she wants to share some of her tips and tricks online, but she's afraid that it won't garner the results that she's looking for. And I said, well, hey, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, you're just supposed to start. It'll never be perfect, right? It might not be aesthetically pleasing. Hello, most of the people I watch that do book reviews have bookshelves and stuff behind them. I got one bookshelf because y'all know I'm an advocate for the library, so I don't really hold on to books like that, nor do I believe that they should be held on to like that. So I have one bookshelf. I shoot in front of my couch. It don't have to be aesthetically pleasing if it's passion work, if it's purposeful work, if it's what is in your heart to do. Just do it. Just start. Just put the content out there. Just put yourself out there. Somebody gonna feel you if you're real. Because we can all see through a fake. We can all see through somebody who is doing it inauthentically, who is doing it without genuine intent or passion. You can read that. The energy doesn't lie. You can't finesse yourself out of the energy. So just start, right? And then challenge yourself to do the thing for 21 days. Because we all know that after 21 days, it becomes a habit. So do the thing consistently. Do the hard thing or the worst thing every day for 21 days. Do it first. for 21 days. And if the hard thing or the worst thing is putting yourself in front of a camera, do that every day for 21 days. And compile a series of videos, and then on the 22nd day, you post that. But now you've created a habit of getting comfortable in front of the camera. So now that fear that was blocking you from doing the purpose thing or the passion work is no longer there. But do the thing. Just start it. Just do it. Just do it every day for 21 days. And then you have become consistent and you have become disciplined. You have even done it on the days that you didn't want to, where you had a headache, or maybe you started your cycle, or maybe your kids that acted a fool and now you're in a bad mood. Do it. Start. Do it for 21 days. Create a habit. It just might change your life. Then there is the topics of integrity, passion, humility, and wisdom. And I think that I didn't really take notes on those sections of the book because those are pretty self-explanatory. At all times, you should be carrying yourself with a certain level of integrity. Certain things should just be beneath you to participate in, to engage in, to align yourself with, right? Because we go back to the standard. Because I love myself enough, I've created this standard for me. And not only is the standard for how other people treat you and love you, but it's also how you treat yourself, what you engage in, what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, all of those things. The standard is something that you have created for you. And integrity looks like creating standards for others, but also creating standards that you have to adhere to for yourself too. Right? So, always try and move with integrity. Determine what integrity looks like for you. Create those standards for yourself and stick to them. Because the only thing that settles around here is what? Dust. Passion. We talked about passion. Find what that is. Maybe that looks like you cultivating a list of your top 5 favorite things to do and then narrowing that down in the 21 days. Like, let's say for the 21 days, you focus on all 5 of those things. You do all of those things, right? In the idea of doing the worst thing first and then so on and so forth. Until you find that at the end of the 21 days, the thing that you like to do the most was the thing that was third on the list. Let's say third, right? Then maybe you have narrowed it down that that's what your passion is. But find your passion and start doing it. I'm sorry, Kane over here tearing something up. The next one, like I said, humility is pretty much self-explanatory. You should always be behaving in a humble nature, because we ain't no better than anybody else, right? There are certain situations you might be better than, but people, not necessarily. We are all human. We all put our pants on or a skirt or underwear, whatever, one leg at a time. We all got to get up and we all got to go to sleep at night. We all got to wake up in the morning, brush our teeth, all the things. Like, ain't nobody perfect. So do all things with humility, all things as though you understand that you need to be extended grace sometimes, and so therefore you need to extend grace to others. And lastly, wisdom. Get the knowledge however you can get the knowledge. Maybe that's YouTube, maybe that's reading a book, maybe that's talking to people who have done what you are aspiring to do. But there's a million different ways to skin a cat. Get the knowledge how you can get the knowledge. Your way might not be my way, but if you get the knowledge from a vast amount of sources, you might find that your way ain't my way, or your way is my way. You didn't think it was in the beginning, but once you got the knowledge and the wisdom, now you realize, okay, Elisa's way was the most efficient way to do those things, right? Get the knowledge however you can get the knowledge. And then the book goes into the 3 steps to finding balance. Where are you today? Where do you want to go? And how are you going to get there? I think those things are pretty self-explanatory. Be very specific in where you want to go. very specific in how you want to get there. In fact, micro step that thing out. It might be 15 steps, but step it out so that it's tangible, so that it's doable, so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, because when it's overwhelming, then you don't want to do it. So if you micro step it out, it doesn't feel as hard to digest. It doesn't feel as hard to do. And then you'll find yourself, when you look up, at the place you want it to be. Now, overall, I know I made the book sound great, because I told y'all, if you want to hear a story, here you go. I made the book sound great because that's what I do. That's why I'm here. However, if I had to give a book a rating, I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. 3 for the information, and solely for the information. Not solely for the information, I take that back. But also the real life stories that went with it. The concepts in the book are not concepts that are foreign to us. You know what I mean? They're very cliche. They are very much things that you have heard 1,000,001 times in your life. There is nothing new written in this book that you didn't already know. The thing that brings the book to life are the real life stories. I honestly feel like you learn more from the stories in the book than you do from the other part of the book. Like, if they could have just took the stories of the book and attached it to the friend portion, or the fun portion, or the family portion, or finance portion, or the accelerator or blocker portion of the book, it would have been more beneficial than all the other stuff. So I personally don't recommend you go out and spend your coin on it. Baby, I'm gonna tell you, it's a no for me, dog, like Randy said. I wouldn't personally go spend my coin on it. If you feel like you must read it, based on the information I gave you, go get you a library card, go to the library and get it for the free. And if the worst thing you do is pick up this book for 21 days, I think that you'll have learned something from it. But don't spend your money on it. Because these same concepts are in any other self-help book that you're going to read anywhere. These same concepts are things that your mother has probably told you, your grandma, your aunt, your dad, your uncle, your sister, your brother. You done heard it. I know I ain't said nothing new to you today that you hadn't heard before, because ain't nothing new in the book. It's the same concepts we done heard forever. And they didn't make it any different than what you've heard, right? The only different spin on it was the real life experiences given by the women who wrote their stories to share with the book. If you just get the book for that purpose, then I think you will find some value there. Outside of that, baby, go and find you something else to do. Go on my channel and find another book to read. There's some books on there that I done said yes to, but this one is a no. Very much a no. I'm giving y'all a no. Just listen to me read this, to break this down for y'all again, and I think you will have gleaned more than reading a book. Okay? I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here with me. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things that all the YouTubers tell you to do. In case I'm missing anything, I am about to start Worthy by Jada Pinkett Smith. You know, the woman who didn't know she was married until Oscar night. That one. I'm about to start that book. So look forward to a review about that, because I am looking forward to reading that. Because, baby, she done had the media in a chokehold, and me too, because I'm trying to figure out why she didn't just go on and get on in there with Tupac, because that's where it seemed like she wanted to be, okay? Because it don't seem like she want to be with Will. Loving, valuing, respecting, many of those things. So that's what's coming next. That's something for you to look forward to. Also, make sure you pay attention to your YouTube shorts, or find me on Instagram, or my reading group on Facebook, also known as The Pretty Nerd. All that information will be down in the description box. Until next time, take care of yourself, read well, live well, be happy. Thank you again for your time. I'll see you soon.